All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Glad you're hanging out with us this evening, whether you're on our YouTube channel, free all the time. All you got to do, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. Maybe Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. And then, of course, our Facebook page, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Subscribe to all of our platforms. They're all free. Watch where you want to watch and then share and invite people in. All right, it's Friday night. We're going to have fun tonight. Super Bowl parties. Do you host or do you go out? Or do you go to somebody else's place, or do how do you take in the Super Bowl? Maybe greatest Super Bowl parties. That's the Super Bowl hype question. On Fridays, every Friday, the most Texan thing you have done this week. What was that this week? The most Texan thing that you think you did that you felt like, man, I am really a Texan right now. And then we got Tech in Houston tomorrow. It's a throwback to really the mid 80s. And Texas Tech and Houston maybe playing the most meaningful game that these two teams have played really since the mid 80s, when Texas Tech was really good in basketball and Houston was really good in basketball. And these games mattered because this one matters. It's really a Sweet 16 level basketball game tomorrow. Do you think Texas Tech can win? You tell us. Anything and everything else after that on your mind, whatever you want to talk about, jump on. Thanks to United Supermarkets, all the text line is open. Communications, no matter whether you are on Twitter X, whether you are on Facebook or on YouTube. All right, and in three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, the website. You start your day every day there. Get your comments in. Check out the Raiderland hot links. Brought to you by The Reserve, a culinary tavern. My goodness, that sounds really good. A culinary tavern. It's really good. If you're looking for a great brunch place, guys, to take your wife, girlfriend, something Saturday and Sunday, 103rd and Quaker, check it out. It's really good. If you're coming in from out of town, you got to put the Reserve on your list of places to go. All right, it's that good. And as we mentioned, United Supermarkets, there's a grocery store that puts their name on the arena. There's one that takes your money and puts its name on another arena downstate. Let your pocketbook vote. You do it what you want to do. All right. Most Texan things, Super Bowl hype. Go out, host, go to somebody else's party, maybe your favorite Super Bowl parties. Okay, this will be a good one too. Give me this tonight. Like memorable Super Bowl events. Where were you? Right? Where were you? Like Cowboy games. Where were you watching the Cowboy games when they actually won? Or, like the Rams and the Titans. Where were you on that game? Chiefs games over the. You tell me. Have some fun. I want you guys, though, to get in tonight. Get your comments in. Get everybody having a good conversation tonight. Let's talk Texas Tech basketball. Do you think they can get the W tomorrow? If they don't, it's not crushing. But what do you think is going to happen? All right. We're here on a Friday night. You're here. We're here. You're here. This is our time, Mr. Hand. All right. James is giving us thumbs up on Facebook. We appreciate it. James, one of our great listeners. And you know what James does? He shares what we do on Facebook. You can do the same thing on your social media. Michael, who do you have winning the WWE Royal Rumble tomorrow night? You know who I've got winning that? America. America wins. When we have the Royal Rumble, they don't have the Royal Rumble in Russia. They don't have that in China. China. They don't have that in China. They don't have that in Venezuela. You know what we have here? We have the Royal Rumble. Michael, we win. America wins. And that's all I care about is America winning. Let's roll. Let's do it, man. David jumping in on Facebook. Super Bowl party? No, can't talk about most, but old school fun. Ton of business grad students. Friends had a party at the Depot big screen in the back. Timmy Smith Redskins. So 86, 87. So the 87 Super Bowl is what Jacob's getting into there on Facebook. Another great Facebook viewer and watcher. You guys can sign up. It don't cost nothing. I watched that at my friend Chris Henson's house. And there is an amazing story that I will tell next week about that game, the Broncos and the Redskins. And I will tell an amazing story about what happened that day at my friend Chris's house with his grandmother's ashes. A true story. Can't make it up. But I'll tell it next week. All right. And if we get to like Wednesday, I had told it. You guys need to remind me, Jacob. That's on you. I will tell that story about my friend Chris, his grandmother's ashes, and the Super Bowl of '87. All right. Let's see what do we got here. Paul, Karma, Lubbock, hating U.S. senator has the initials Tommy Tuberville. Lubbock hating. Well, I don't know where that came from, by the way, Paul. Glad you're here. Random, left field, just going over the fence. Oh, no, that's karma. That's just weird. David, I've seen every Super Bowl on TV, all of them. Really? All of them? Come on now. You're not that old. You would have had to have been a wee lad in Super Bowl I to be sitting there saying you saw it on TV. You're just not quite that old. I think maybe you would have been propped down in front of the TV, David. But to sit there and say you saw it and watch it, I know I'm saying I know. Birth date is one thing, but come on, you know. Yeah, I know. You were still a wee lad going. Can we dial it in any better? Can't get in on UHF. What the hell's the deal here? No. Super Bowl hype question. Go out, stay in, host. Otherwise, most memorable Super Bowls. Where were you when you watched it? You know, where were you? It really wasn't that memorable of a Super Bowl, unless you were a Redskins fan. When what was it, 91? The Redskins beat the Bills. Thurman Thomas can't find his helmet. Mark Rippon, they go off, they win, and that. So we took that in Ruston, Louisiana. Lady Raiders playing the next day, or that day. I don't know. Was that Sunday? Yeah. All I know is we were in Ruston, freaking Louisiana, taking on Louisiana Tech. And members of the travel party got food poisoning at the Bonanza Steakhouse in Ruston, Louisiana. Ugh, man. Chris Cook, if you're watching this, by the way, Chris Cook probably knows that Bonanza Steakhouse and everything. Yeah. I remember being out there for that one. What would we have been? That would have been what would we have? Monday game? That makes no sense whatsoever. However, that's where we were. Then for a lot of years in the 90s, the Lady Raiders would play a Fox Sports Southwest game at noon or 1 o'clock Central as a lead-in to the Super Bowl, and we would be on the road, and I would not get home until halftime of the Super Bowl. So there was a stretch of Super Bowls there. I'm like, yeah, I didn't even get to see the first half of it. Not great. So do you host? Now that the Chiefs have been in for a long time, didn't really care whether we were watching the game or not. Now you kind of want to watch it, right? So do you fight that as a fan? Do you say, I want to really actually watch the game. I don't want to be at a party. Or can it be at a party where part of us are watching the game and then everybody else is doing their own thing, but you got to be able to watch the game, right? Enjoy it, 11 for Super Bowl I. Actually, it was not Super Bowl I. It was the AFL NFL championship game of the world, of world championship football, and not sold out. And ABC and NBC both televised it, and they had to do the second half kickoff twice because I think it was NBC that wasn't back yet from commercial break, and they did the kickoff, and they're like, hold on, we're not ready," and they did the whole thing over again. Jan, I'm that old. I've missed a couple. Was 24-67 when it started. 24-60. Yeah, we're not going to do the math. Jan, you're telling on yourself right now. You're telling on yourself. So, like memorable games that you, wherever you were for Super Bowl parties, anything over the years, and what do you like now? What do you like? Nobody goes out, and by that I mean nobody. I say nobody. I'm sure somebody can chime in here in a little bit and say, yeah, we do this. Very few people now go to a sports bar or anywhere else to watch the game. It has become a house party, and that's something that has caused sports bars and everything else to pivot. I'll use the the Buffalo Wild Wings example. That almost everything they do on Super Bowl Sunday is generated for to-go orders, pick up and to-go orders. That it's not in-house. It is 100%. We've got to have wings, and we got to have all this stuff going out on the go, and nobody goes to a place to watch it. And I sit there and I think, like, when was the last time, you went out to a bar to watch the Super Bowl? It became sort of like New Year's Eve in a way, which is now a big stay-home night for a lot of people. Wasn't Super Bowl until 3. Joe Willie Namath sitting by the pool, doing a little presser with everybody by the pool. I guarantee it. He wasn't mouthing off. He just, hey, we're going to win. I guarantee it. No video whatsoever of it. Only still photographs by an AP photographer. Robert is on our YouTube channel, Ryan Heights Raiderland. Don't cost nothing. Glad you guys have signed up. Hope you have subscribed. If you have not, that's great. But if you can, subscribe, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, everything else. Rather sit in my recliner and watch it. Yeah, that's the way it is for most folks. Hosted a party at Mahomes' first one. Oh, not at Mahomes, but at your first, yeah. Yeah, nobody wants to come out where we live. It's too far out in the country. Never get there. Do you want to talk a little Texas Tech basketball tonight? We can. Do you want to tell us the most Texan thing you have done this week? We can. Do you want to tell us about, great Super Bowl parties you've been to? Interesting places. This is the pivot thing. This is what I can do that Chad Hasty's not really good at doing on KFWO. You pivot a topic, you get going, and then people give you something, you pivot a topic. Like maybe the most interesting place that you have watched a Super Bowl. You can give us that as you go through tonight. Anything and everything on your mind. Texas Tech, Houston, simply put, it is a Sweet 16 level game between these two teams. Texas Tech is on the 7 line for the most part. HoopsHD.com, Brackville.wordpress.com, 7-8. Either way, I think they're solidly on the 7. Houston really on the 3. And you look at how well Houston has played defense this year, and they're really balanced. Cryer at, I think, 13 leading them in points. But what's fascinating to me is the historical aspect of this. This is the biggest game that Texas Tech and Houston have played, I think, since the mid-'80s. Since 84, 85, when Texas Tech was winning the Southwest Conference Championship, and Houston was right in there as well. 83 with the, Phi Slamma Jamma. 84, another Final Four team loses to Georgetown. 85, a little drop down. So Phi Slamma Jamma, and they've kind of gone down a little, still really good. But you're talking, I think, to me, the first time in 40 years, and they just celebrated this past weekend, by the way, the 85 Southwest Conference Championship team. There were Gerald Myers, which is funny because I ran into him at Market Street, United Supermarkets, and we're both walking down the aisle, and he's got his handwritten uh, grocery store, list. And I've got mine on my phone and everything. And all of a sudden we both look up and we realize, oh, hey, coach, how you doing? So got to have a plan. Got to have a plan, you know, just like good practice. Like, yeah, I'm just going up and down and seeing what my wife says, you know, whatever she says, text it in, go get it. But this game tomorrow, I wish it was a little earlier in the day. We will probably have a round ball rewind tomorrow when it's done, 5 o'clock tip. I don't think that's going to be too late. I hope it's worth doing it. If the game sucks, we probably don't do it. All right. If it's worth talking about, we'll probably jump in here. This Tech team can beat Houston, in my opinion. Here's the deal, though. If Tech shoots more than 18 three-pointers, Tech will lose. Write it down. 18. 1-8. Right there. 1-8. Shoot more than 18 three-pointers, you lose. Law of diminishing returns. All right? Not going to do it. Not going to happen. If you attack the rim, if you get the ball to the rim, not only will you, I think, shoot better percentage-wise, you will get them in foul trouble a little bit. They're home court. You'll get to the free throw line. And this is a good free throw. This thing that drives me nuts about this team. You are a great free throw shooting team. Get to the line. You don't get to the line shooting threes. All right? You don't get there shooting threes. So, thoughts on that right now? Robert, going to be a tough one in Houston. They're really deep. They're really balanced. Their strength, your strength. Good defense. Pretty good balance. This would be another time, Robert, by the way, that if JT Toppin really wants to be a difference maker, you got to do it against the top teams, not just the mid-level teams, not just the bottom, top teams. Joseph, there on the Facebook page. Glad you're there. Fetty is the team's version of Norris Odiasi. Does things, don't always show up in the stat sheet. Yeah, Federico times two. The story of a young man's journey from Minsk to Milan. Come on, Seinfeld people. Somebody's got to get that eventually. He just needs to be out there and contribute. Get some rebounds, bang around, get your 3 fouls, use it, play hard defense. But, you got to give me a little something. He's had some empty minutes at times this year, and I like him. I think he's a good player, but he can't give you empty minutes. The other night, he had zeros across. You can't do that. Robert Delgado, Bonanza Steakhouse. Name for the past, like K-Bob's gone. Both of them were here in Borger. Why would you be in Borger with a steakhouse if you've got Sutphen's barbecue? What was the point of that, right? Come on. Let's go D. Wayne on Facebook. Happy Friday. I'm buying a Tech jersey soon. Which number should I go with? What sport are you buying? Tech football jersey? I mean, if you're buying a Tech football jersey and you can get any number, 44. Wendy is on YouTube. That's a, social media platform, not a drug. What's your prediction? I'm really not liking our chances in Houston after the way we have played. What do you mean the way we played? They won 5 straight. Well, on the ugly side, yeah, they're all ugly in the Big 12. Come on, Wendy, settle down. They're all ugly. Every win is probably going to be ugly in the Big 12. If you win tomorrow, if Tech wins tomorrow, it's probably going to be ugly. It's going to be a freaking dirt clod fight. Down by the creek, 1978, Canyon, Texas. It's going to be a dirt clod fight. You're going to get some mud, pack it around a rock, throw it. There you go. This team's not going to win pretty. They're just not. I don't think. As the year goes through, what I've seen, they're gonna win kind of ugly. You have to get to the line and limit turnovers. Agreed. And getting to the line means not shooting 3-pointers more than 18 times. That's plenty. That's 9.5. You think about possessions. I don't have to sit here and do the math for you on possessions and a half, but that's 9.5, 18. So you take 9.5, and then you go another, the rest of the time we're shooting twos, right? That's 18 possessions. Now, how many minutes are there in a half? What's the average time of a possession? You do the math. You start to figure it out right there. If we're jacking up 9.5, to me, that's too many. You're not running offense. You're not running clock. You're not getting to the hoop. You're shooting out of sequence if you've got more than 9 threes and a half. But we're really good at it. Sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't. I equate every missed 3-point shot now to a turnover. Every missed 3-point shot to me is a turnover. They usually equate into long rebounds, which are harder for the offense to get. The defense now has you in a bad situation, and you've got a run out. It could be a 2-on-1, a 1-on-1. If it's a 1-on-1, you typically foul. So for every missed 3-point shot, I equate that as a turnover, and I equate every one of those three, 1 out of 3, probably into a foul. So now I've mitigated so many things. And I know I sound like Darryl Royal. Was it Darryl Royal who had the line about, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen and 2 are bad? Talking about passing the football. Incomplete, interception, completion. But as we have this fascination with 3-point shooting, nobody ever talks about the other end of it and what happens. They go, well, we're hitting 36%, 38%, and we're out. Okay, well, call me on the other side. Call me on the other side of that. Battle of the Blues tomorrow. The Blues? Which Blues? Lubbock and Houston got the Blues? Went to the all-you-can-eat Brazilian steak place. I think that meant place, not lace. 80-second slide last night. Meat coma, hurt myself. Tell me more. Sounds good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with the meat coma. Robert Ryan, TTU will beat UH. Well, that's all we need to know now. We're good. Tech's going to win. Robert said it. It's all good. Not really time, and we didn't slug it or anything. The ACC and ESPN contract deal, don't read too much into that. There are so many outs on that contract for both ESPN and ACC that at any time, if anybody wants to hire a lawyer, don't worry about it. It's not some sort of, oh, we'll never have conference realignment again. Oh, we'll never have, the Big 12 and the SEC and this and that. No. Now, what they needed to do, they had to firm up a little bit from an advertiser standpoint. We need the ability to execute a 2 and a 3 year contract. So what you're seeing with ACC and ESPN, and people saying, "Well, this means peace in our time. Peace in our time. We're not going to." No, it doesn't mean anything like that. So saw that headline today. I'm like, people are going to see that and take it the wrong way. Let's see. The good 3-point teams shoot most of them off offensive rebounds, fast breaks, and not as a set offense. Yeah, I mean, you got your kickouts on a run out. You got your offensive rebound inside out. I can shoot threes. I would actually rather shoot threes, Joe, off an offensive set where I've penetrated the defense, punched it, brought the defense in a little bit, then kick it back out, but that I've got good rebounding opportunity. When I'm shooting it at the end of a run out, a lot of times it's a long rebound. I don't have anybody back there. All right. Alan, a Tech win tomorrow over UH will verify a lot of the bias they have in Ken Palm and net. Okay, I don't. It's not bias, and I know what you're saying, Alan. And Alan's getting in on our Twitter channel. Where the hell are the Twitter people? We got like hundreds of people every day watching on Twitter. Where are your comments? Where are you jumping in? All right, here's the deal. Ken Palm and the net are moderately predictive on a single game aspect. The other, metrics we use to project where Tech's going to be on the seeding, totally different. But I mean, this Tech team has been a really mystifying force, I think, on Ken Palm and net this year, that it really wasn't. Their numbers were not translating into real game, I think, analytics, and mainly because they played such a horrific non-conference schedule that the Ken Palm and the net couldn't factor in that, you're beating teams by 20, 25, 30 points. And it was doing a poor job coming into Big 12 play and trying to figure that and how it would come in. I have no use for Ken Palm or net. Either one. They don't do a thing for me. All right. Just to me, they're useless numbers. And I know everybody wants to talk about it, and it's easy to use. And it's the same people that go and look at, Ken Lenardi or whatever is Joe Lenardi. They're at ESPN and think, oh yeah, Lenardi's got this number. The guy sucks at what he does. I try to help y'all. I try to give you good numbers. Ken Palm and net are not good numbers. Even I think game to game on a predictive basis. Y'all are better than that. Hell, you're better off just looking at the point spread, in Vegas, as opposed to looking at that if you really want to know on a game by game basis. Trust me, you are better off looking at that than any of the other garbage. And do you think they use that out there? No, they don't. They do not. Text KP and net soft for the reason you laid out. Real-time numbers are the stuff, yeah. Woody Hayes said that, Ryan. Who said that? Who said what? Woody Hayes said what? What do you say? I don't know what he said, but I probably agree with him, All right, we got to get out of here. You guys are good. Tomorrow, no promises, but stay with us. Stay with us. We might just have a little bit of round ball rewind tomorrow. I hope we've got a reason to do it with Texas Tech and Houston. I hope we do. So we might have it for you tomorrow night. Everything goes well. We will have Super Bowl hype. We will have 5 things we know on a Sunday. I want to thank our great, wonderful sponsors like United Supermarkets, Market Street. I want to thank The Reserve, a culinary tavern. Again, tomorrow, Saturday, tomorrow, Sunday, tomorrow, Sunday, tomorrow, Sunday. Brunch. Fun menu, creative, enjoyable. And according to my wife and her friend, really good drinks. So check it out at the Reserve. All right, you guys are the best. We're going to post this. I want you to do one thing for us tonight. Share it with your friends. Put it out there on social media, Twitter, YouTube, anything else. Grow Raiderland. Continue to make it fun. You guys are the best. We appreciate it. See you tomorrow.